Sources telling us that the Ministry of Home Affairs has recommended that the age of juvenile be reduced from 18 to 16. The sources telling us that the draft note prepared by the Home Ministry for issuance of ordinance says that the juvenile age should be reduced from 18 to 16. Nikunj on the phone with us with more details on this. Now, Nikunj, you had brought us this information that the Home Ministry will be issuing this note. When is this note going to be looked at, and what happens from here on after this very important recommendation?
Well, the note has informally been circulated to the top cabinet ministers. Remember, every cabinet note that the custodian ministry, in this case the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is the custodian of the CRPC, the IPC and the Indian Evidence Act, which all three of which will have to be amended for lowering the age of the juvenile, has prepared. That note has to be shared with the Ministry of Law, and that has been done. That note has to be shared with the top cabinet ministers in a non-informal move that was done this morning in the cabinet meeting. Formally, the Ministry of Home Affairs, whenever the next cabinet meeting happens, whether it happens today, whether it happens, in this week itself, which is very unlikely, or it happens in the beginning of the next week on Tuesday next week, that would make it 5th of February. Or if it doesn't happen that year, there is again an option available with the custodian ministry that they can go directly to the Prime Minister under Section 11 and 13 of various provisions of the Constitution on issuing the ordinance. They can take Prime Minister's permission to issue the ordinance without formally consulting the cabinet, and that can be done post facto. So there are various options that are available as far as the final formulation and final delivery of that formulation on the draft note is concerned. So the ministry is considering and weighing all those options. Union Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde will take a final call on that once its ministry has got a clear go-ahead from the Ministry of Law and Justice. But nonetheless, the important and the most vital development here is that going to the pressure, not only from the street, but from the eminent jurists, but also from the political parties, the age of the juvenile has in this country, for the first time, post the Juvenile Justice Act came into formulation, and that happened nearly 3 decades ago. The age of the juvenile, the Ministry of Home Affairs has at least proposed to the cabinet that it should be brought down by at least 2 years.